I'm going to preview the number 18 Baylor at number 23 Colorado women's volleyball game, which will be played tomorrow, as in Halloween, at 8 p.m. Central Time on ESPN Plus. Of course, it will be lost as well. I apologize for looking now because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And I did notice that Gabrielle Essix did not play last game. I don't know what's going on there. Of course, Grace Carroll as well. I do not know the injury status for Baylor or Colorado going into this game. And it was a tough pill to swallow against Iowa State, to say the least. It was a 3-0 loss. All the sets were close. 23-25, 23-25, 21-25. Thus, Baylor is 12-7 on the year, 7-4 in the Big 12. And Iowa State going into this game, going to last game, they had the same amount of conference losses as Baylor. So this was huge in terms of Big 12 standings. And Iowa State was unbeaten at home prior to that game. So that's tough. Now, I will say Colorado's stats overall for the year, they have not been updated up to like the Northern Colorado, after the Northern Colorado game. So I'll put the Northern Colorado game stats in the description below, as well as like the roster and the stats prior to that game. Just to let y'all know. And clearly Colorado is better than a year ago. They're 19-3 overall, 9-1 in the Big 12. The last game was against Northern Colorado, like I've said. However, Northern Colorado pushed them. Colorado did win like 22-25, 28-26, 25-15, 21-25, and 15-8. They had a big lead in the fifth, though. There's no way. Nearly when you have a lead like that in the fifth set, you don't lose matches. Yeah. So this is huge in terms of conference standings, first of all, just to get Colorado another conference loss, potentially. And Baylor really needs to think about winning out in order to be like a top 4 seed for the NCAA tournament, just to host the first 2 rounds, or try to get the highest seed possible here, for the NCAA tournament. So what are some players to keep an eye on? The first one I would dare to say is Ryan Finley, number 3. A 6-foot setter that's a redshirt junior. 33 kills on 87 attempts with 11 attacking errors, 767 assists, 10 service aces, 37 service errors. Yeah, no receiving errors. 125 digs, 32 blocks, 1 of the solo, 5 blocking errors. The next player that I'm just going ahead and mention is Audrey Asleson, Asleson, number 4. And I know she didn't play a lot of as many sets as compared to the last player, but still. A 6-foot setter that's a freshman. 2 kills on 10 attempts with 1 attacking error. 9 assists. Yeah, 1 dig. 5 blocks, 0 solo, 1 blocking error, and 1 ball handling error. Might as well go over like Inez Losada, number 8, just in case she does play. A 6-foot, they call it a pin, but I would call it technically an outside hitter or an opposite, depending on the position that she really does play. That is a freshman. 13 kills on 34 attempts with 2 attacking errors, 1 assist, 11 service aces, 23 service errors, 14 digs, 1 block. That was solo. That's really it. The next player for sure I'm going to keep to mention is Cindy Jordan, number 10. I don't know why the roster every time it wants to refresh whenever I'm off that page. A 6'3" outside hitter or opposite, that's a junior. 195 kills on 620 attempts with 85 attacking errors, 18 assists, 30 service aces, 32 service errors, 19 receiving errors, which is one of the most, the most on the team. 194 digs, 32 blocks, 8 of those solo. That's really it. The next player to keep an eye on is Anna Burilovic. Yeah. Number 11. A 6'1" outside hitter / opposite. That is a junior. 375 kills, which is the most on the team, on 916 attempts, which is most on the team, with 144 attacking errors, 13 assists, 35 service aces, 36 service errors, 16 receiving errors, second most on the team, 140 digs, 45 blocks, 12 of those solo, and 1 blocking error. The next player I'm going to go ahead and mention is Katie Solonga, number 13. Every time I try to get off the roster, it wants to reload. It's like, I don't need it to reload. It was just fine. A 5'5" defensive specialist, libero / setter, so pretty much anything that's not a middle blocker or outside hitter / opposite. That's a sophomore. One kill on 3 attempts with with no attacking errors. 40 assists, 9 service aces, 6 service errors. 30 digs. That's really it. And there's Gwen Schiff, SCHIFF, and I apologize if I'm butchering these names here. A 6-foot outside hitter / opposite, that is a sophomore. Yeah, number 15, by the way. "15 kills on 50 attempts with 6 attacking errors. Nothing in terms of serving. 5 digs, 5 blocks, 0 solo. That's really it. Now, there's Maria Splawska, SPLAWSKA, number 16. Come on, you roster. I did not ask you to reload. She is a metal blocker that is a sophomore that's 6'2" tall. 64 kills on 140 attempts with 23 attacking errors, 7 assists, 2 service aces, 1 service error, 42 digs, 85 blocks, which is most on the team, with 11 of those being solo, 6 blocking errors. The next player is Peyton Neal, number 20. a 5'8" defensive specialist / libero. That is a junior. Yep, a junior. Okay, 1 kill on 1 attempt, 26 assists, 8 service aces, 15 service errors, 10 receiving errors, 172 digs. That's really it. The next player is Lily Dwinell, number 21. A 6'2" outsider / opposite. That's a junior. 142 kills on 348 attempts with 42 attacking errors, 3 assists, 1 service ace, 4 service errors, 1 receiving error, 36 digs, 53 blocks, 2 of those solo, 4 blocking errors, 1 ball handling error. And might as well just go over the last 2 players real fast in terms of stats. Then I'll go over the positions and all this. There's obviously like Sarah Morton, number 22. Like, she has 2 kills on 4 attempts with 1 attacking error, 54 assists, 11 service aces. 11 service aces, 13 service errors, 9 receiving errors, 234 digs, which is the most on the team, and that's really it. And the last player is Kayla Payne, number 33, 168 kills on 347 attempts with 49 attacking errors, 1 assist. Yeah, nothing in terms of like the serving department on aces or errors, though she doesn't serve that much in general when you look at it. Nothing in terms of like no receiving errors on 3 attempts, 14 digs, 84 blocks, which is second most on the team, and 14 of those solo, and 11 blocking errors. Whew, man, that's a lot of blocking errors. So now I will go over those 2 players in terms of like what position. Yeah, Sarah Moore is a 5'6" defensive specialist. That's a libero. So defensive specialist / libero. That's a senior, and her number is number 22. By the way, while the other one is Caleb Payne, a 6'4" middle blocker. That is a junior, and number 33. Obviously, whatever you did right last game, you got to bring in this game. Whatever you did wrong last game, you got to correct. You got to come out with a sense of urgency. You got to start out faster in terms of matches. Because when Baylor's lost the first set, they have lost nearly every match except the first one. And the only time that Baylor's lost a match whenever they took a first set was the Kansas match. So, nearly unbeatable when Baylor wins the first set. And hopefully, you do get the first set this time around. Though it doesn't guarantee a win, I know. But if nothing else, you got to find a way to even up the match. And if you're down 2-0, you need to find a way to win that third set just to extend the match a little bit. So, I'm just telling the truth. And I know there might be some questionable calls. But then at the very end of the day, you got to make plays to win. You need to make adjustments on the fly, not just from set to set, but during those sets. And you got to start out faster in general in all those sets and finish stronger. You got to win the long rallies because sometimes it does make a difference in the match itself. You need to play a lot cleaner overall in terms of the game itself. You don't want to commit give free points away like a foot fault or a rotation error. Obviously, a service errors, yeah. You got to get more service aces as well than last game. You got to if you could. And you need to try to dig every ball that you could on defense, and you got to have your blocking step up as much as possible, and you got to be more consistent across the board. And sometimes your best defense comes from your serving, so serve tough. Get them out of system. I mean, make it hard for them to pass the ball, or then they have to give like a free ball over, or just barely like a double tap and all that. And obviously, if they commit a lot of errors like attacking errors, service errors, net violations, and you got to win the jousting up top and try to not let them do it, it's really obviously on them on the errors in general. But still, you get the point in all this. You got to be like, you try to take the crowd away from Colorado as much as possible, because the last thing you want to do is feed it into the crowd, which feeds into the opposing players, and that can obviously be intimidated by the other team. Like, you got to focus on one play at a time. Obviously, you need to receive the ball well and to set up your offense better, and hopefully the offense does play better than last game, because you got to have your best player step up, and even like your role player step up. And obviously you want to shut down the best players as much as possible, and you got to limit the other team's blocking as well. And you try to have some variety on offense, though. If they can't stop a player, to just continue to go at it. So we're gonna have to obviously wait and see what happens. This is basically like a NCAA tournament volleyball game, to be honest, in terms of how close these two teams are in terms of rankings. So give your best shot in this type of game, and come out with a sense of urgency. After all, you don't want to go 0-2 in a road trip again, like you did for the Arizona road trip, like both Arizona and Arizona State. I'm just saying, because the last thing you need is to do that again. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Somebody might this course like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see us, sharing the video does help as well. Some more people could watch, and if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button for the notification bell as well. And you gotta do a good job on like the side outs, both offensively and defensively in this kind of game. Try to limit the side outs for them as much as possible. And same thing goes for like, try to not give them so many service aces, and obviously try to pass the ball well and try to limit your errors across the board as much as possible, while still being aggressive in this type of game. And if you have a lead and during the set, try to protect it better than you did last game. If you're trailing, try to battle back. So you get the whole gist about this game.